You're muted.
I know, I was talking to text to give instructions. You got it. We'll give people another couple minutes to get in. And then I'm gonna send one. Start adding up your contacts from your open houses and everything this weekend, because all of that will count for you for accountability check-in. Got it. All right, Emma, you want to get us started? How did your shadow go this weekend?
It was super awesome. I went with Ashley, and not a ton of people came, but it was just, I think, a great starting point to see how they ran, and she gave me lots of helpful tips and tricks on how to be welcoming and inviting and get people's numbers and all that. So it was really good.
Good, awesome, good job. Sherry, how were your 3 open houses you had Saturday?
Oh, it
Well,
was
one of them
kind
went, but
it was kind of slow. I don't know where everybody was, but I had a few people come through, but yeah, it was
good leads out of it, maybe.
maybe one. Um, I have one that I'm cultivating that showed up for my third open house, so I've seen him 3 times, so that was good.
Good, 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 good. Jake, how are things with you?
Everything's great. I did not host any open houses. I'm mainly waiting to host open houses until I have access to the MLS, just because I wouldn't be able to pull a client report or anything for them. So, yeah, just kind of waiting to get access to the MLS and join the boards.
Excellent, makes sense. Yeah, those are important steps for sure.
For sure. But I have experience hosting them in Utah, so I'm
Good.
assuming they're pretty similar.
Yeah, similar routine for sure. Caitlin, how was your weekend? Studying.
It was good, just studying and then continuing to like pull people out of my phone for my sphere and stuff.
Excellent, good job. Vibhav?
Hey Mara, things are good on my side. I did not host any open houses. I told you I was working on that Washington license.
Yes,
Fingerprints, everything is done.
good job.
And I need to work with somebody to pull it in. I need to file
Yeah,
an application. That's what they said. That fingerprint and all the background checks went in fine. I need to do
excellent.
certain step on the website to get the license, and then maybe inform KW to pull that in.
Yes, as soon as you've got it, then yes, definitely let our team know. Excellent. Are you if you want to text me your availability for this weekend too, I can see if I can match you with someone to shadow for an open house if you'd like.
Yes, I'm pretty open on the Sunday. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll text you. Thank you.
perfect. Amazing. Hi, Nagam. How's everything with you?
Hey Mel, how are you?
Good.
Good.
All right. Do you need material for today, Nagam?
I guess so, yes.
Okay. I'm sending that email out now, so everyone should receive it, except for I didn't include Sherry and Emma because I believe you guys have yours, but let me know if you do need it.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Well, without further ado, today we have our amazing Principal Broker Director, Tammy Sue, and I'll read her little bio for you guys. So she says, I love my career in real estate. She first was licensed and launched her real estate career in 1995. So she has decades of experience in contract negotiations and project management. She's a native Oregonian and has resided in Crestwell since 2014. She served for 2 years as a planning commissioner for the city of Crestwell and just finished her term as city councilor. She loves to read, trout fish, and hang out with her best friend, Beretta, a Labrador Retriever, and Charlie, a Golden Retriever. She has 3 young grandchildren who bring her tremendous joy. Faith and family and real estate are most important in her life. So you guys are in good hands with this course today. Make sure, if you can, you have your camera on, ask any questions that you have, and soak it all in.
Thank you, Mara. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'm turned on your little ding dong sound. So if anyone does trickle in late, you should get notified.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. I am your Oregon Managing Principal Broker, and the network leases me a couple of offices. I have one up in our Sunset Corridor Market Center. I'm up there 2 days a month, and I'm in our Capital City Market Center 1 day a month. The rest of the time I reside in Eugene, Springfield, because currently I'm living just a little south of Eugene. So they lease me this beautiful office within the Eugene Market Center. I do have the whole state of Oregon, though. I have 2 other principal brokers who work for me reviewing your documents. After you get in contract with a client, your documents have to go up into KW Command, and Polly and Stacy review those documents for compliance. Today, what we're going to talk about is connecting with your market. This is a subject that is really important to me, is the way that you turn leads into clients is connection with people. When you're out and about in the market, no matter what you're doing, you have opportunity every day to connect with people and let them know that you're a real estate agent. So we're going to talk about the tips and tricks that I have used, and we'll go over different research to help you be prepared to be an expert. We're going to talk about knowing your market, and we're going to, by the end of the day, hopefully you'll be able to analyze the current market that we're in and use social media, your MLS, to connect with your clients and go over business. So start thinking about what you learned today and what you need to know when a client says to you, how's the market? Oh, you're a real estate agent? How's the market? That's what I'd like you to be able to answer when you leave class today. And this is not going to take me 2 hours. I'm going to give you some time back in your day as we breeze through this. Just if you have any questions, listen to see if I address them, and interrupt me at any time. If you've taken my contracts classes on Friday, you'll know that I'm kind of a casual instructor. I have a really weird sense of humor, and I do not care if you joke around. I don't care if you unmute yourself and just blurt out your question. It's fine. It's totally fine with me. So here's the truth. If it has been done in another market, it can be done in your market. Once it's been done, no matter where that agent is that's having success, it's just a matter of you finding out how. How did they do that? How did they become the expert? And then it's possible in your world. This is a quote from our founder, Gary Keller. This is out of his very popular book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And the first step that you have to achieving your impossible goals is to connect with your market. So this quote tells us that Even if you are listening to a podcast, oh, I went like that because I'm old school. Headphones, listening to a podcast, and you hear of a Keller Williams agent in North Carolina doing something and being successful, you can apply it with the right systems and the right understanding. You can apply it right now to this market in Oregon. Knowing and connecting with the market is important, that you're tuned in, whether you're in a small town, a city, out in the country, or like you sell condos downtown. What you choose to be the expert in is up to you, and you just must prepare. So we're going to cover the types of markets, and we're going to cover the important numbers that you need to know. So there are 3 types of markets. There's a buyer's market, and traditionally in my almost 31 years of real estate, they've always been defined by what is on my screen right now. The amount of inventory available. So if it's a buyer's market, there's more than 7 months of inventory. What does that mean? That means if every single home listed on the market right now, compared to how many buyers are coming in and buying, if no other listings came on the market, nothing else came up for sale, with the number of buyers we currently have, in 7 months, we would run out of inventory. We have enough buyers right now in a buyer's market to buy up all the inventory, everything for sale, in 7 months. Okay? A balanced market is when we have 5 to 7 months of inventory, and all the buyers in the market would buy up all the inventory in 5 or 6 months. A seller's market is when there's a lot of inventory on the market and not as many buyers. And the buyers available would buy up all the inventory in less than 5 months. Okay. In a buyer's market, houses are not selling rapidly. A buyer's market means there's more homes for sale than there are buyers. The supply of houses is greater than the demand. So it puts the buyer at an advantage because sellers are not having very many showings. I don't know about you. We talked earlier. Sherry said she, was slim in open house this weekend. I had no one come to my open house Saturday.
So we are living in the buyer market right now.
Yes, ma'am. That is where we are right now. Exactly right, Nagam. We have more inventory than we do buyers. Okay, in a seller's home, the demand is greater in a seller's market. The demand is greater. So in a seller's market, there's not very many homes. Sellers can price a little bit higher. They can refuse to pay closing costs. They can refuse to do repairs. They feel more at liberty to refuse to lower their price because they know the buyers can't find a lot of homes comparable. And it puts the seller at an advantage. They're most likely going to get multiple offers. So when a client asks you or a lead asks you how's the market, what you need to know is what is the inventory. A balanced market is that healthy share of inventory. Healthy amount of buyers and sellers. And in about 5 or 6 months, everything on the market could be sold. We have enough buyers interested in buying that in 5 to 6 months, we would run out of homes to sell. A shift occurs when the market moves one way or another. We are in a shift right now. We may have right ahead of us another shift. As you've all probably heard about interest rates coming down. And we do expect the feds to lower interest rates again this year, maybe twice before the end of the year. Depends a lot on the job market and the economy. So interest rates is just one thing, and the economy is just one thing that can affect a shift. A shift would also be like up where Nagam is if Nike laid off 1,000 people in Beaverton. She would experience a huge market shift. Down in Medford, if Harry and David closed their factory, they would have a market shift. Those folks working for those companies facing layoffs would put their homes on the market. They would move to where they could find jobs. So you can have a shift in the market within your little tiny city or a big city. Is this something you can control? No. Can you prepare for it and shift tactics? Yes. What you want to do is make contact with the lenders in your market. Stay up to date on what is happening. Inventory is the primary factor in deciding what kind of market that you're in, and it will help determine the health and the robustness of our industry. So a good way is to stay in touch with lenders. I'm not very good at tech, but I'm going to try to share with you what I get from one of my lenders. So I'm going to stop sharing, move over. Let's see, I have to make that smaller, move this over. I'm just not good at tech, so I really appreciate you all listening. And for those of you watching this later on video, hey, I'm 57 years old. I'm doing the best I can. All right, do you see this? Can you see the email now? This is from one of my lenders. I have gotten on Jeff's Friday email list. This one's from May. It's from the last time I taught Ignite. But he sends this out every Friday to realtors. And he tells, what's the market doing right now? I got on his email list, so I like to go to karaoke on Friday nights. Love to watch brave people stand up and sing. I don't sing. I watch. I applaud. Okay? The place that I go to, people, they have my cards. They have my University of Oregon and Oregon University football schedules at the saloon that I go to. They have these out for customers to take because I've been going there for a decade. And I will always run into somebody every week that says, Tammy Sue, how's the market? If I have not read this email, I am like, blah, 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 I don't know. So I try to remember every Friday to look for Jeff's email to get myself that knowledge, because I know over the weekend people are going to ask me about the market. There is another one that I get from Director's Mortgage. Are you able to see that one? Okay. He has the VP from Director's Mortgage. He has a little neat thing that says the 10-year note. This is not actually interest rates, but it impacts interest rates. And he goes on to explain how the Treasury note affects it. So if I'm going out on a listing appointment with an accountant or a lawyer or someone who's very analytical, an engineer, I make sure to read Nick Carter's email to educate myself on these questions that potential client might ask. And then there's one more. This is my favorite one. This is from Liddell White at Guild Mortgage. And Liddell is my preferred partner. Guild is my preferred mortgage company. You can use whoever you like. We have a great partner in Envoy Mortgage, so you can reach out to them. I know that Donnie and Eric, they've been working with those of you in productivity coaching. And this is an old one from May, so it says interest rates rose to their highest level in over a month. But what Liddell talks about is things on a large picture. India and Pakistan had a ceasefire. Inflation at a 4-year low. This is what it was in May. Aren't you glad it's not that now? Right? We're at 6.3 this morning. So get yourself in touch with a mortgage lender that will keep you up to date on these sorts of things. Okay, that will help you understand what are those economic factors that impact interest rates. You want to be the expert when someone says, how's the market? Well, it feels like we're in a buyer's market right now, but we anticipate interest rates coming down, and that could shift. This is how I answered the question over the weekend. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So with those emails that get sent from your lender, do you quote rates directly from those emails to your clients, or do you just kind of like familiarize yourself with what it looks like?
That is a wonderful question. What I say is, what I recently got from one of my favorite lenders is that it's hovering about 6.3. That's what I say.
For sure. And so you'll just reference that by saying like, oh, per what my previous lender has told me, or things like
Yes.
that. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
And if
So I
it's
just don't want to quote it and have them be like, actually, I'm checking and it's actually 6.17 or something, you know?
exactly, yeah. The last communication I had from my favorite lender said 6.3 this morning.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yes. We used to call it scripts. We don't call it scripts anymore. We call it talking tracks. So you want to be truthful and you don't want to overstate. So you want to say, the last I heard, the most recent information I have. Those are talking points I would encourage you to adopt. If it's a veteran, they may even be getting lower than what Liddell quoted me this morning. But I'm not going to say that to them because I don't know their credit rating. And someone with poor credit is going to get a higher interest rate. So you want to say what the last thing was that you heard. And you want to phrase it that way, in my opinion. Other important factors. Am I to the part yet that talks about days on market? You want to be aware of the number of days on market and what is the inventory in your market. And we have a tool called Area Pro. It's areapro.com. And it is a great website to use. Let's see if I can just show it to you. This is free for Keller Williams agents, areapro.com. My little sister is thinking about retirement, and she lives in Yamhill County, up by McMinnville. So I made a little watch for myself of that territory, and you see how quickly it took me to sign in, and it's already there. 3.9 months supply of inventory in her area. Wow, that's great for sellers. If she wants to retire today, I would say, sister, I think you're in a pretty good spot. I think you'll find a buyer. Average number of days on market is 104. That's fantastic. There are currently 2,366 homes on the market. 912 of those are pending. 39% of those are pending. So right there, I've set up this search for myself. Got a couple of other ones. I think I have a Lane County. Yeah, I have South Lane County. This is the area that I live in. Okay, and it's showing the same thing. It also shows average pricing. And you can even print this out for your customer and it's branded. Customers love it. You just do a little PDF, download it.
Can
Get
I
me-
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead. That was a
I'm very lower to learn, very slow to learn. Can you step by step give any area, any city, and see how we figure out? For example, let's say Beaverton or Hillsborough or Tigard, whatever.
Yeah, let's see. How do I do a new area? Manage areas. Create a new area.
Okay.
And I don't have the MLS. Do you have the MLS? Let's see if I go. Beaver.
Anything.
Yeah, Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay.
Save. Boom. It already made it.
Okay.
Is this the slickest thing ever? And we pay for it for you.
Okay.
Our brokerage pays for it. It's really expensive, but we pay for it.
We don't care. It's
Okay.
your fault.
There's 574 agents. We have buying power, right?
Okay.
So why wouldn't we pay for it and share it with all of you? So again, areapro.com, and they do a thing once a week where you can get help, and that comes out on your weekly digest that your agent services people, Michelle, Ashley, Lynn, and Allison, your agent services people in your market center, they have more information on that if you'd like to get it. They're tech trainers.
What's the best number for the inventory? I see now it's 3.8.
Under 5 if you're representing sellers.
Okay.
Under 5 if you're representing sellers. Good time to sell.
And what if I present the buyer?
If you represent the buyer, you want there to be more than 6 months of inventory. You want them to have some negotiation power. More homes on the market gives the buyer more ability to negotiate.
But now mostly the buyers are, most of them, very hesitated to buy.
Yes, we're in this weird shift right now where a buyer, the feedback that I've been getting as I've gone to our all partner meetings, and you and I were just in Sunsets, is that buyers are saying, if I have to pay high prices, because homes are priced high right now, if I have to pay a high interest rate, I don't want to do repairs. I want the house perfect. And that is something that we are dealing with right now in our market. If you want to get some tips, you look up online.
I do have that, yeah.
Shift by Gary Keller. The leadership team, Leslie, our general manager, is bringing us through this, and every Friday we read a chapter together before you all get to work. We meet early mornings on Fridays, and we're learning through this book. And the one that we're on is Tactic 3, which is do more with less leverage. And it really talks about how to interact with clients that are in this shift and feel like maybe what's interesting is, I don't know when Gary wrote this, but it's relevant now. And he wrote this years ago.
Well, once I spoke with Elizabeth Ramos, and she said that in 1997, the same thing happened, the same circumstances, what we are facing now.
Yes, she's right. I bought my first house in 94 and I love the process, and that's why I became a real estate agent the next year. And then in 97, I wish I had bought 5 more houses. Right? Because they were all $99,000. But anyway, it was a lot of money at that time. So it's relative, right? Yeah. Anyway, your job is not to become a research scientist. It's just to understand these economic factors that impact the market. And as long as you have clients that are asking you questions about the market, you need to be prepared with some numbers. Whether you want to talk about days on market or you're more comfortable talking about inventory, you want to be able to respond to these clients' questions.
Well, the most question that I've been facing, for how long this situation will be lasting? Is it for months, for more? It's going to be forever, or for?
Right.
I'm just like, maybe.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And I'll tell you one thing that I do feel sure of, and this is personal opinion. Prices don't come down. They don't. We had a market crash in 08, unprecedented. We had the Great Recession. It was terrible. Prices went down. That we will not see again in our lifetime. That is not going to happen again. Prices are not coming down. The longer a buyer waits and pays their landlord's mortgage instead of their own, the more disadvantaged they are. They're losing out on building equity for themselves. I know that to be true. So as you're previewing homes in certain neighborhoods, doing open houses, you want to become familiar with each of those neighborhoods. You want to talk about the companies that might be moving into your area and know a little bit about the history of the area. Especially good when you have someone coming in from out of town, right? So once you know your market and you're familiar with numbers, then you just keep building your expertise even more. And to do that, we have something called our language of real estate. It's called LORE, language of real estate. It's how your market is moving and how you're communicating with your clients. Don't get hung up on the acronym LORE. You don't need to. Just ask yourself, are you seeing signs of the market picking up? Or like Sherry and I experienced this weekend, signs of it slowing down? I do believe that right now we have a lot of people sitting on the fence waiting to hear what that new interest rate number is going to be. So keep doing open houses. Keep yourself in the market center. Come to the monthly meetings. Keep into touch with Mara, because when it happens, more buyers are going to rush in. Okay? And whether your number you're looking at is a local number or a national number, you're the expert because you're the one who's sharing information. So traditionally, prices tend to be higher in the summer, and traditionally inventory goes down in the winter, and sellers are more likely to cut their price. Market fluctuations like that happen every single year. If you track your leads and your appointments, and you will start to notice these changes over time. You're going to start to see, wow, buyers are really concerned about the amount they can borrow, or they're really concerned about the interest rate. Oh, sellers are really concerned about, do I have to cut the price, or can we try it one more week at our current price? You'll start to hear those things. And as you're giving feedback to the listing agents that you're holding open houses for, Pay attention to their reaction when you say, I had 7 groups through. Woohoo, that's awesome. Or I had 7 groups through. Oh, I was hoping we'd be more. Ask questions. Why did you think we had more? Is your price really aggressive? That will help you learn about pricing. I want you to walk away today knowing that if you know the numbers about the market, you're going to be a better advisor to your client. You're going to be more in touch with your client. So as you're monitoring numbers, and you see trends, you may think of who's at risk. You may know that you have a client who needs to be out of their rental by the end of December. And they may be at risk if they don't get with a lender right now and get qualified. So you'll learn those things, the ebb and flow and the shift of the market and how it affects different customers that you're in communication with. Sometimes shifts are great for investors, but they're not great for the family of 4 that needs to get into their best new house. All right, next says listen to individuals. Learn where your sphere gets their information. If people are saying to you, my neighbor's house hasn't sold, it's been on the market a long time, so I don't want to sell mine. Familiarize yourself with that neighbor's house. Look it up. How long has it been on the market? What is the price? Gather information. Is it overpriced? 3 things sell a house. If you're a listing agent, pay attention. 3 things sell a house. Price. You get to control that by talking with your client. They choose the price. You get to control and influence them. Condition. You cannot make them change the carpet. You cannot make them repaint. You cannot make them be clean if they are not clean people. Location. You cannot pick up a house and move it from Gladstone to Southeast Milwaukee. You cannot pick up a house in Gladstone and move it to Tigard. You can't do that. Location, condition, you don't control. Price, you have huge influence on your clients. Those are the 3 things that sell a listing. I would debate anybody if they disagree, and it's okay if someone disagrees. But those 3 things. It's not the sparkling clean pool. It's not the new toilet with a bidet. It's price, condition, location. At the root of every buyer conversation, those are the 3 things. So if they say, my neighbor's house hasn't sold, so I'm going to hold off on selling mine. Okay, same location. Is it the same condition? And is it priced at what you would price their house? Maybe it's a 2-bedroom and you would price it at $400,000, but your client has a 2-story 5-bedroom and you would price it more. Maybe the neighbor's house has a little tiny lot and your client's house has a ½ acre. Listening to individuals is a great excuse to reach out. Hey, you told me you'd want to sell, but your neighbor's house has been on the market a while and is not selling. I checked into it. Do you know that only has 1 bathroom and yours has 2? Do you know your lot is twice as big and more desirable? Just keep that conversation going. You don't have to hard press them. You just need permission to contact them again. Hey, if you change your mind, will you get in touch with me? And if I have any more information on that house, do I have permission to call you back? Is it okay if I touch in bases with you if it goes pending and we talk again? I'll keep you up to date on your neighbor's house. So when your sphere gets information, you need to listen to where are they getting that information. We all know what the A in Zillow stands for, right? Accuracy. There's no A in Zillow. There's no accuracy in Zillow. It's computer programs that are calculating the estimated price of your client's home or the estimated price of the home your client is interested in buying. You have the ability to dial it down and be more accurate. I wear a t-shirt that says Faith Family Real Estate. That is my personal logo. And one of the reasons I aligned with Keller Williams, as ours is God Family Business. And I wear my t-shirt out and people will stop me and ask me, how is the market? People do not want to hear negativity. I am positive. If someone says the market stinks, interest rates are high, I say that's interesting because I approved 43 commission checks this morning. We're busy. Agents in your market centers are always closing. We have never had a day with no sales. So, agents in my office are selling is not a lie. You can say it. You can talk about it. Okay? The gentleman that I'm thinking of that told me the market stinks, the very next weekend, I helped him make an offer on vacant land and we got it. True story. He is now living there in a fifth wheel and building a home for him and his 6-year-old son that he has full custody of. So don't be afraid to say, agents in my office are selling homes. Don't be afraid to say that. It's not rude. You never know when you're talking to a potential client, and there's no reason to be negative and get sucked into that negativity because you have real data. You know that the market is good. You know that people are always getting married, getting unmarried, relocating for jobs, saving money, and don't want to be renters anymore. Lots and lots of reasons that people are buying homes. It continues to happen even when interest rates were above 7. We have never had a day that we didn't get a commission check in. So read past the headlines, read past the shocking news. You know what's so funny is sometimes on Monday mornings, we get inundated with all these newsletters and things. And sometimes I'll get one email that says, the market is stalled. And then I'll get another email right after it that says, the market's on fire. And I just have to laugh. You don't want to buy into either of those headlines. What you want to do is you want to find out from within your own market center, how are we doing? So you want to ask Mara, you want to talk to team leaders, you want to collaborate with each other on your office hours. I think a lot of the times buyers and sellers will get their information from social media, from the news, from papers, online newspapers, their friends. Once you figure out where they're getting their information, you can help become the expert. Maybe you want to start a newsletter that you send out to potential leads. Maybe you want to learn how to use Command to do a smart plan to all your contacts and keep them up to date when our inventory increases or decreases dramatically. Doesn't have to be a weekly email, it doesn't have to be a monthly email, but some sort of touch out to your sphere, giving yourself something to talk about and connect with. All right, so one thing to talk about is the Command app. Do you all know that you have an app to your own KW website that you can share with people? And then when they search for homes, they're off of Zillow and they're on your website.
Yes, ma'am. Branded to
Yay!
me and everything.
That's fantastic. So you can help buyers set up that app. It's integrated in Keller Cloud, and your tech trainers in Sunset Quarter, it's Michelle. In Eugene, it's Ashley. In Medford, it's Allison. And in Salem, it's Lynn. Your tech trainers can help you. And you can share your business out to people. This is how, if you want to take a picture of the screen, this is how you get that app and how you share it. As you know, I don't produce a lot anymore because I'm in the principal broker seat. But I did get a buyer from this when I first joined KW. I was in our local bakery. The little tiny town I live in, Cresswell, has kind of a famous bakery. And I was in there, and a lady said that she had just moved because of the Paradise fires in California. And she was looking for under $300,000 house. And I said, let me share my app with you. I'm a real estate agent. And if you see any houses come up that you're interested in, let's go look at them. And my app is not going to send you a bunch of ads. It's not going to listen to you and find out that you want to buy new shoes and send you a bunch of ads for new shoes. It's just for looking at homes. All I want to do is help you look for homes. And she downloaded it. Long story short, I did get a sale from it. That's the only time the app has helped me get a sale, but I'm not a mega agent like Mara. I, am no longer in great production because of my daytime job. It's a single platform. What else did Mara wanted me to tell you? Oh, Mara wants me to tell you, this is cutting edge. It's a customer-facing tool that connects the consumer with you. And this technology is a big value. It'll help you know what the clients are looking at when they're on there. Now let's talk a little bit about social media. Your daily success is 10-5-1. If you want to adopt a rhythm for social media, like 10 posts a day. Other people posting a picture of their dog, that's fine. You love it. You like it. Okay? Gets you engaged with that person, and it helps build your visibility out there. Write 5 comments a day. I have a Facebook business page, and I think it's Tammy Sue Kenworthy Realtor. Sorry, off the top of my head, I've gone blank on if it says Oregon in it or not. But my Facebook business page, when I do my 10-5-1, I log into it, not my personal page. And I go and I like and I comment and I message people from that. So when I leave a message and say, I love your new haircut, the name that they're seeing is Tammy Sue Kenworthy Realtor. They're seeing Realtor. They're seeing it over and over every time I comment. About 80% of your posts should be about real estate, but the other 20% should be about other interests that you have. And that's how you build connection. I like to trout fish. It's no joke. You see? No, you can see. I got a trout on my arm. I like to trout fish. And when I see someone fly fishing, I don't fly fish. I use rod and reel. And when I see someone fly fishing, I always comment, oh, that's on my bucket list. Looks so fun. Just put yourself out there. And in your participant guide, Mara wants me to tell you that there is an activity called brainstorming your social media personality. So know what your personality is, puppy pictures, dining experience, latte art, whatever it is. Just tune in and people will get to know you and trust you. Okay, other things that you can do. Market Center report is something that we used to have that we put out every Monday. We do not have that anymore. We now have the Area Pro website. So Area Pro that I showed you earlier is number one. Preview homes. Most areas do a broker tour. Go out on broker tour, see homes. It's the very best way for you to get to know neighborhoods. You'll learn what are the most desired neighborhoods, what are the busiest, what are the working class, what are the luxury. It's just a part of our culture is we do have classes still in our society. And you will learn as you're previewing houses that all the houses in the North Gillum area of Eugene or Lake Oswego near Portland are luxury. You'll learn that by going out on tour and seeing those homes. And I have had people say, have you ever sold $1 million house? And before I had sold one, I would say, I have toured a lot of $1 million houses because I always went on broker tour when I was up in the Portland market, always. So broker tour is an opportunity for brokers only to tour homes. Most markets, it's once a week. In some, it's every other week. And you go out on tour and you don't have to have a showing appointment. You do not take clients with you. You just go out and you view homes as they're open for agents only to view. You can also make a little bit of cash because oftentimes the listing agent will have a raffle or a drawing. Some of them will have a full lunch for you to partake in and enjoy your day and make it fun. Take an MLS course. The MLSs all have courses on how to run reports, how to do searches. Some of them are on their websites. It just depends on what MLS that you're in. Visit and hold open houses. Language of real estate, being in touch with where are people getting their information. Reading the Millionaire Real Estate book. And or listening to the podcast. Highly recommend the podcast. If you're not able to make it to broker tour, I want to back up a minute. I forgot something. If you're not able to make it to broker tour, but you've got your lockbox access, you know how to get into homes, go look at vacant homes that don't need an appointment. Practice your lockbox, get into a vacant home, check it out. Learn how to use the lockbox without a client there breathing down your neck. Oh my gosh, the worst thing is when you're trying to open a box and Emma's laughing. You're trying to open a box and the client's there, or this always happens to me. I try to unlock the door and it's stuck, it's sticky lock. Always when you're in a hurry and you've got 6 homes in a row and you're on a tight schedule, that always happens. But do that, get out there. Don't be afraid. You know, you've had your fingerprints, you've had your background check. If it's vacant and an appointment is not required, go. View the house, walk through. It's not weird. Okay, if the listing agent calls you and says, I see you access my lockbox, what feedback do you have? Or did your client like it? You can say, I'm previewing for a client. Client wasn't with me. They don't need to know that you don't have a client looking for a 4-bedroom. They don't need to know that. You're previewing. It's important to your education that you do that. I skipped right past ahas, but if anybody wants to share anything, go for it. So here's a little recap, and then I'm going to give you time back in your day. So, learn about and communicate the current market inventory. When we have state of the industry with our owner, Chris Soares, tune in. He will give you stats. He will give you information. When we have a mastermind in the market center with our general manager, Leslie, participate, get in there. Try to connect with lenders and at least one lender that can put you on a weekly touch campaign to get you the current interest rates. It does not matter if you haven't closed any homes, just get in touch. If you need someone in your area, ask Mara, ask another agent, ask a top agent in your office. Who do you use? As I mentioned, my favorites are Guild Mortgage and Directors Mortgage. They're all over the state, but you find someone that you connect with whose emails you will use. From learning about all of these things, knowing your market, learning the clientele, listening, you're going to build your expertise. You're going to uncover what your clients want to know, and it's going to bring you closer to your clients. When you're out there with a KW shirt, or you make yourself a name tag, or maybe the waitress, I did this weekend. My daughter's a waitress at Denny's. I go to Denny's and she does not like that I'm there. I sit in someone else's section. But when I give a waitress a tip at a restaurant, I give my business card, and on the back of it, I write, Kayla, thanks for being awesome. I do not know if they throw it away. I do not care if they throw it away. I have sold homes to 2 Dutch Brothers employees for that reason. If you're going to give a $1 tip, get some business cards and some paper clips in your car. Okay? If you are in contact with a service person, whoever's putting your tires on, whoever is a waitress or a waiter in a restaurant, a librarian that finds you your favorite book. Hey, you've really helped me today. If I can ever help you, here's my card. That is not weird. You are a professional. It's okay. You never know. Maybe they look like they could never own a home. You don't know. You have no idea. My daughter is 19. Her boyfriend's parents bought and sold with me last year. You just don't know. If you don't talk about what you do, that's a shame. So be proud. You worked really hard to get your licenses and to be in this awesome industry, and just know that we're here to support you. And I don't know what the next Ignite class is. I think it's values. I think it's define your value. I'm looking at Wednesday. It says define your values. That'll be a great class. The rest of these classes are impactful. If you miss them because you're working another job or something, just get the recording from Mara. She'll help you out. And I'm always here if you have a legal compliance question. That's my jam. And Friday, I'm teaching vacant land. So if you've got anybody that you've run into that says, I just want to buy a piece of land and build my own home, contract mastery class Friday at noon. I'm teaching the vacant land sales agreement. So thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good rest of the day,
Tammy.
okay? Okay, bye.
Thank you.